everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we've got a pair of wide receivers who certainly want to be targeted throughout the game. It's Fitzgerald's Cardinals going up against Brown's Steelers. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Moments ago, a scene that's played here since 2004. Big Ben Roethlisberger greeted by this sold-out Heinz Field crowd. His Steelers getting set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Hello, folks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And a moment ago, Larry gave us a look at the two #1 receivers that'll be facing off here. But you think it's more than just one-on-one? Both these teams, they've got a number of pass-catching options.
And I'm eager to see how both teams will attack the opposite defenses, because is it going to be where they're going to be a dart-throwing team, throw it short and try and make plays that way? Or will the long ball be a part of it? But you're right, lots of options for both of these squads.
Here we go from Heinz Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now Palmer on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. He was in search of the tight end, Troy Nicholas. And it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. To throw again, Palmer. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And all the way down to the 35. Two veterans there, Palmer to Fitzgerald. 46 yards.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
Such a presence, Carson Palmer.
Very much so. Has had it ever since he entered campus there and still has it today.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Carry now. This is Johnson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Stephon Tua came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Second down, Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. From the gun, it's Palmer. He gets it to Brown, complete. And the ball is knocked out, and it looks like Steeler football. It is. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 10 for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. The pass receiver turned into a runner. then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yard.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes Arizona's offense back onto the field. Earlier we were talking about the quarterback position, a big decision coming up on that spot. But, you know, Cardinal fans and fantasy football owners, I guess, so disappointed when David Johnson went down in the opener with a fractured wrist, wound up missing the season. That kind of got overlooked in 2017.
It certainly did, and it was the first big domino in why the Cardinals didn't really make a run at the playoffs this year, because of David Johnson's ability to run it and catch it and initiate all the offense that the Cardinals wanted to run. The defense still held up. Calais Campbell went to Jacksonville. The defense was still 6th in the league. But offensively, we're not nearly the same team. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get...
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Bud Dupree coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
Palmer gets him set. 3rd and long for the Cardinals after the sack. Play action. It's Palmer. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Javon Hargrave. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is brought in at the 21. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Ben Roethlisberger ready to lead out the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, and he put the retirement talk on the back burner. And he said, I am coming back next season. We'll see. He'll be 36 when next year starts.
But I think he's having too much fun, actually, to retire and has some unfinished business. This team is good enough to get to and win a Super Bowl. They didn't accomplish that in 2017, despite having the most prolific offense in the NFL. And Ben's numbers are terrific as well. 4,200 yards, 28 touchdowns last season.
Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL. And now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my #1 target.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Tyrann Mathieu's instincts as a defensive back, I believe, are second to none. And that allows him to play all over the secondary. He can line up as an outside corner, inside in the slot, and that's difficult to do because you get so much traffic in there. And then, of course, they can also move him back as a safety. Anywhere you put him, though, you know he's going to end up around the football.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And this will be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now it's Roethlisberger. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
4th and 2 is normally a passing down, but in this case, they decided to give it to their running back, and he did get the first down, although not by much.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
On second down, Roethlisberger got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt leading the surge there. He drops in for a loss of 6.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Palmer gets him set. 3rd and long for the Cardinals after the sack. Now Palmer. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. With it is Brown. Oh, he shifts past him. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. And as you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game. Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down there, just 1 yard. Here's Roethlisberger. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Steelers are going to add on to the lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Boswell for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. A look at Carson Palmer now as we focus in on our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They begin the drive with Johnson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. On third down, Palmer. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be fourth and short.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And before the punt, time is going to run out on this first quarter. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. More from the Steel City coming up after this. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Brown spins past him. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, 88 yards. And the Steelers way to stretch their lead.
I know the question will come up. If Antonio Brown is maybe the best receiver in the game, why would you risk him on special teams? I think we just saw why.
I was just going to say, Exhibit A. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints. Rookie of the year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now Palmer. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Andy Lee now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this will be taken at the 13. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Roethlisberger marches onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes. No interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Marcus Golden able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
This Cardinals pass rush in 2016 got home 48 times. That's a pretty good number.
A very good number. Led the league. Is it just because the dudes that they had or the scheme or both or what?
It's always the dudes first, but their scheme, attacking, pressure, they'll continue to pile up the sacks.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. This is fielded at the 27. It'll 51-yard punt that time. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Palmer gives to Johnson. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets a new set of downs.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. And he can't get away from the pressure. Palmer sacked. T.J. Watt in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Johnson on the counter. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down near the 34-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Here's Palmer to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
On second down, Palmer. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Cardinals on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Palmer. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A first down carry here for Johnson. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. To throw is Palmer. Underneath for Johnson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every inch.
Touchdown, Cardinals! Larry Fitzgerald, 34 yards. And the Cardinals cut into that lead.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get 1, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
But when the highlight is shown of this play, all attention is going to be on the person running with the football. But how about the group as a whole? Setting up that big-time return. Yardage that we won't even account for in the box score may help them win the game.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And when playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. Only 3 yards there on the complete, lead to a 3rd and goal. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Now it's Roethlisberger. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second. You're right, not to be. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. It's a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the 1st half to expand that lead.
Now, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams, but he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season went 9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady.
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Steelers are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Cardinals didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's roll the highlights. Cardinals starting on their opening drive. Quick pass and completion is made here, and he'll end up at the 35-yard line before being tackled. Sticking with the same drive. Brown's going to cough up the football here. Steelers will pick up the loose football and score. That takes the up to 7. Steelers with possession halfway through 1. He's going to tuck it and run here. And he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 13-yard line. Continuing on the drive, Roethlisberger would find his mark in coverage. And it's going to be caught for the touchdown. That puts them on top by 13. We go now late in the 1st. The quick pass, it's complete. And 61 yards later, he'll go in for the score. Lee's punting it away. Brown's back for the punt, and he'll take this all the way for a touchdown. Cardinals take it at the 34. That pushes the lead to 28. Carson Palmer on the money to the old reliable Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where the primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
Barry on to punt as gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two. I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Again, it's Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
But these guys jump into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The Cardinals on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Palmer. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. Nifty footwork at the 45. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
That's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. The swing pass caught. They give him a gain of 38. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Now play fake here on first down. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Second down now after the incompletion. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald from 3 yards out. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it. He's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. John Hargrave in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On second down, here's Palmer. Incomplete. And Charles, got what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now Palmer on 3rd and long. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Ryan Shazier in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded just inside the 30. Brown with his stick skills. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And the Steelers set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just out decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Let's phrase this delicately, okay? Might have had a better option instead of throwing the football into double coverage.
He was blanketed. I was surprised that he went his direction.
Yeah, should have thought maybe about the check down. Take the completion, keep moving.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he's got room. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger, 1st down. And McDonald here over the middle. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of punch, though.
So the chains are on their sides. It's 1st and goal from the 6. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Escaping pressure right. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Ben Roethlisberger, a 6-yard touchdown run. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got it in zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On first down, it's Palmer. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And Palmer gives to Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop it behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate a bans during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
Palmer gives to Johnson on the draw. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical, spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs. 2
running plays, each lose a yard. They'll need to do much better now on 3rd and 12. Now Palmer to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it. Now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Ooh, with a juke. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Steelers will go on off here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just giving him a jersey, but a seat on them as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Dancing to his left. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Second down, just 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A Steeler first down, Roethlisberger to Bryant.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together, the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Frosty Rucker in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Now Roethlisberger. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. Well, one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And it's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more. It is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. They get 25 yards out of that one. And the Steelers are going to have a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like each and every time, won't you?
Well, he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again.
Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald from 13 yards out. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll be knocked down sideways, right on the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. They'll throw on first down here with Palmer. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fitzgerald. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there at 22. Now Palmer on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Encroachment, defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Sure, it moves before you do.
Throwing now, Palmer on first down. So he caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. John Brown, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals claw one back.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. On the return, Fitzgerald to Son. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you've got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On third down, Roethlisberger over the middle here to Brown. He'll be brought down right around the 37. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Averaging over 50 yards of punt so far as this one's away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, we get a peek. Larry Fitzgerald as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
Weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. And his throw here's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
On down, Palmer. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle the pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Brown. Brown with his stick skills. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Oh, nice move at midfield. Le'Veon Bell. Kiss him goodbye. And in end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 58 yards. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
But
one of our
she's
guys.
singing, too.
No, she's at least
She's on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called me, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Whether they're slinging it, then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Second and 10. It's Palmer again. Incomplete. The intended receiver is David Johnson, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
On 3rd down, Palmer. And he can't get away from the pressure. Palmer sacked. Bud Dupree in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. Brown. We're here on the punt. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup. It gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert. It'll be a 3rd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Steelers with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after over. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've opportunities 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, League, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget that. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never get it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Second, it's Palmer again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And it's 3rd down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
Fresh set of downs here. From midfield now, here's Palmer. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. At a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8.
Watch tight end.
Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. Complete Bryant. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not out. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. 2nd and 10 now. It's Palmer. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. And he's going to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On Palmer. And Gresham has it left side. 4 yards on the completion and a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been
to throw on 3rd down. Palmer. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an dude to forget, absolutely. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball.
No, I love what you just said there. You nailed it because if the ball shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that would be considered a fumble.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt.
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. The 30, 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
Got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings.
They have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's about it.
You don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up the score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. And the Cardinals hands team able to secure the football. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.